So I've had this conversation a few times before. I don't know if I brought it to YouTube. I don't know if I brought it to any of my socials really. That for a while, for years and years and years, I've been trying to transcend a sort of like the human baseline, right? I wanted to be more than human, less than human, whatever. I wanted to be truly like a ghost for like however long it's been. It's been like 5 or 6 years. This was like otherworldly music that was supposed to transcend, you know what I mean, all of that. But then it got muddied. Well, it was muddied from the beginning because I've always been interested in organizing and categorizing and labeling, and everything had to have a word and everything had to have some kind of meaning. I've had to assign some kind of meaning. Well, this video, even though it kind of like contradicts where I'm going, I want my art to have even less of a meaning. I don't want, the music to have like assigned value, right? I want everything to be further along, you know what I mean, along the line, because life itself has like brought meaning to me, and like I've found meaning in things that like are important to me. But when it comes to all this stuff, God, stop. When it comes to all of this, right, the music and whatever, I want to get rid of it, because like the initial concept was all like this hypnagogia, you know what I mean? Like it was supposed to be dreamlike. And why do I keep assigning value and putting more and more value onto the categorization or the interpretation or the perspective or whatever? Like, that all is important to me, right? But, like, I want to have less space in my mind that's, like, cluttered, because this is how I've been doing it lately. I'll record a bunch of material, and then I'll just come back and rename it. But, like, for years now, I've always wanted to. And I've talked to friends about this, and that really reaffirmed, like, the direction that I want to be going. Because they were saying, like, yeah, I wish that I could do it like that. And what I'm talking about is, like, no titles, no artist names, no, whatever. The album art's important, okay? That's not going to change. The album art, the visuals, the visualization, the sounds, all of that stuff's important. But why do I have an artist name? When I want to bury Alice, I want to bury everything affiliated with Alice, because it's no longer as ambitious as it once was, now that it has been, like, branded alongside my creative endeavors. That people hear Scum Alice or Radiant, you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't even know if Radiant really took off like Scum Alice did. But there's a lot of places where people know my name, and people assign that value to me. And it's weird. It's a weird feeling. I don't like it. I really don't. I don't want to have a name. I don't want to have whatever for the branding, whatever, right? But it's just so weird that people know me, and I don't like that. And it's so specifically directed at me. When Alice was a sort of like subversion and like, it became too real, like everything else, you know what I mean? Like everything that was assigned to me in my life, it just became too real. Like, I realized that it wasn't the thing, you know what I mean? It wasn't one thing that I rejected from, like, whatever. I wasn't looking for some, identity. I wasn't looking for identity in this. I was looking for a rejection of identity. And that's, like, how it's been from the beginning, right? That this was all about the rejection of identity and the rejection of self. It wasn't like me looking to affirm something somewhere else. That, like, I'm nothing. You know what I mean? And I want to go along that path when it comes to the music, right? That I'm nothing. In real life, I'm just another person on the street, right? And people, they don't like that. They don't have this, like, rigid rugged individualism that like sets me apart from everyone else. When you're in the room with me, you're probably just thinking that person over there is like creepy. That's what I hear a lot. You know, that person over there is just a creep, a weirdo. No one should approach that person. And it's just all like, my value comes from things that people don't see in me. And I don't want to sit here and be performative and like, you know, put on a theatrical show for people to, you know, come back to me and like affirm my being and myself, that when people look at me and immediately know what I'm about. I don't like all of that. I don't want people to perceive me. I don't want people to think one thing or the other. And if you sit with me and you hear me, you know, I hope that it doesn't make me look one way or another. You know, maybe perceptive, maybe wise, maybe philosophical. You know what I mean? I don't know. But, yeah, no, I'm just rejecting further and further, and I'm about to reject entirely. I'm putting new little short, you know, I think 10-track albums on YouTube, and I have 3 of them right now, so I have about 30 tracks, and I'm going to keep doing that, and I'm going to keep dropping them, and I'm not going to be putting them on Bandcamp. Once they're gone, they are gone. So if they're not on YouTube anymore, I'm not putting them back up. I'm disconnecting. It's kind of like a Buddhist thing, you know? It's like Buddhism. I'm just separating myself from that art even further. I have a life. I cannot be muddying life with like all of this stuff. So enjoy if you want. You don't have to. It's not about my ego anymore. Not about my ego. Genuinely, it's just not about my ego. I don't want people to look at me and say like, that's the person I aspire to be, whatever. I don't care anymore. I don't want people to think that I'm like a celebrity or something. I don't care. No more names, no more aliases, no more album titles, no more song titles. It's over, guys. It's over. That's what I think the compromise has to be.